All right, just a quick video for the notes today. Today we looked at writing the equation of an exponential equation given the graph or given the table. So in order to start these, you first want to look at the y-intercept. The reason we're looking here is because I'm not going to put any horizontal shifts or vertical shifts, so that means that the a value is literally the y-intercept. Because if there's no shifting, right, when you plug in 0, no matter what this value is, you get 1 times a, right? So that would just give you the y value of the y-intercept is the same as the a value. Therefore, we go here. We say y is equal to, and in this case it's 2b to the x, and then we need to find that b value. So then we just pick, we could go 1, 4, we could go negative 1, 1, and we plug it in. So 4 is equal to 2b to the first power. B to the first power is just b, so you divide both sides by 2 to get 2 is equal to b. So then our final equation is y is equal to 2 to the x. And that's how simple it is. Take a look at the next one, right? So the next one, we have the y-intercept again, so we can call that the a value. So then we have y equals negative 2b to the x. We're going to plug in the only point that we have, which is 1, negative 3. So negative 3 equals negative 2b to the first power. Again, we divide negative 2 both sides. You get 3 halves is equal to b. So then our final equation is y equals negative 2, 3 halves to the x. When given a table, we hope that the y-intercept still shows up in there. In this case, it does, right? 0, 4 is the y-intercept because where x is 0, you have the y-intercept. So then we have the a value. So it becomes just like those last problems. So we have y is equal to 4b to the x, right? In this case, let's use this 2, 1 point. So it's 1 is equal to 4b squared. Divide both sides by 4. To get 1/4 is equal to b squared. When you square root both sides here, one thing you need to note is b is not allowed to be negative. So we don't put plus or minus, even though we added that square root. We just put positive 1/2. So then our final equation is y equals 4 1/2 to the x. All right, last one. This last one is a little bit more challenging because I don't give you the y-intercept, so we just don't know the a value right off the bat. But we do have two equations. We have 45 is equal to ab to the first power, and we have 81 is equal to ab squared. Well, we have two equations, two variables. That means it's possible to solve for this. We just need to either use substitution or elimination. Elimination is actually not going to work here because we have b to the first b squared. There's no possible way to combine those. We would also need to have like an addition sign or a subtraction sign between those things, and we don't. So the only other option is substitution. So if you take this first equation, you divide b by both sides, you get 45 over b is equal to a. And then we can physically take that 45 over b and plug it in for a right there. So that's going to give us 81 is equal to 45 over b multiplied by b squared. B squared, actually let's just rewrite this. This is going to be 81 equals 45 b squared over b. We have a 2 and a 1, so 2 minus 1 is just 1. So this is 81 equals 45b. Divide both sides by 45. And if you can reduce 81 45, it does. That would be 9/5 is equal to b. Now we're not quite done. We need to go back through and we need to find the a value. So we can take this, take it all the way back up here, and write it is b. So then we can go 45 over 9/5 is equal to a. 9/5 dividing by a fraction is the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. So that's 45 times 5/9 is equal to a. 45 and 9 cancel to make just 5. 5 times 5 is 25 is equal to a. So then our final equation is y equals 25 9/5 raised to the x. Just like that. All right? One thing to note about this that's going to be super helpful just in the future for you, look at these two values, 45 and 81. Notice that they show up when we actually were solving for b. Specifically, they show up right here in this step, right? It's 81 divided by 45. Well, whenever you have consecutive points, b is equal to y2 divided by y1. So in this case, it would be that 81 divided by 45. And that's true for every single one of these. If we go backwards, right? Let's take a look at this last question. We have 0, 4, and we have negative 1, 8. Those are right next to each other. y2 would be at 0 because negative 1 is to the left. So then we would have 4 over 8, which that gives us 1/2, which was the b value here. You go back one more, right? You say 0 and 1 are 1 away from each other as well. So then y2 would be right here, that negative 3. So this would be negative 3 over negative 2. Well, what did we get for b? 3/2. And then lastly, we look at that first one, right? If we go 2 consecutive points, we have 1, 4, and then we have, this is 0, 2, right? And so it's going to be 4 over 2, which gives us 2. Okay, so y2 over y1, as long as they are consecutive. If they're more than one x value away, that's too far. You have to have exactly one x value, all right? As always, if you have questions, message me on Canvas. I hope you have a great day.